Okay, welcome back, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into question number 2 tonight. It's taken about an hour to, well, a little over an hour to upload the first video I made tonight, so I decided to go ahead and do 2 videos tonight, and I'll try to upload the second one tonight too. So, question number 2 on the worksheet. You take a trip to Vegas and lose all your money at the slot machines. A loan shark offers you $10,000 payable in full within 72 hours. You take the money and try to win back your losses. Alright, let's think about this one for a second. You ever heard of places called Payday Advance or Check and Go or Cash and Go? That's basically the typical stuff that you see, on corners is legalized loan sharking. And I don't know why they still get away with it, but we accept it. Hello, there we go. We accept it. That's why the laws haven't changed about it. So, let's talk about this one really quick. Describe a time in your life that you handled a scenario like what was described. Doesn't have to be this exact scenario. It could be I borrowed $5 from a friend of mine back in high school, or I borrowed $1,000 from my parents. The point is getting you to think, when in your life did you do something like this? So, describe a time in your life that you handled a scenario like what was described. What was the outcome? Did you pay the person back that you borrowed the money from? Did you write a payday check advance and pay them back on high interest rates? Did you borrow $5 from a friend that 20, 30 years later you still owe them the $5 for? That is the question here. What was the outcome? Did you lose a friend from it? Did you have to pay an outrageous amount of interest on what you borrowed? Did you not pay it back and you got beat up by some Las Vegas casino mob boss? That's, again, the question, and taking acceptance and responsibility to yourself and your actions. So, looking at that, now comes, what could you have done differently? Well, you could have not went to Las Vegas. You could have not gambled all of your money. You could have just said, hey, I'm not going to borrow $5 from my friend. You could have said, hey, I'm just not going to go to Paycheck Advance and pay their costs. You could have said, hey, I'm not going to go borrow money from my parents that I can't pay back. That's part of, the whole what could you have done different. Now, what did you accept? Here's the biggest question. What did you accept by doing those things? Did you accept that you were going to get your ankles and knees and arms broken by the Las Vegas loan shark when you borrowed the $10,000? No, you didn't. You didn't think that stuff actually happened. You accepted that that stuff didn't actually happen. You didn't accept that you were going to lose a friend over $5 or $10. But you did when you didn't pay them back. You didn't accept that your parents or family would get angry at you for borrowing money that you didn't pay them back. Or, if you had a really cool family, you accepted that you could borrow that money from them and they wouldn't ask for it back. See, all these little acceptance things. So the next question is, did acceptance play any part in the scenario? And we just went over those. What did you accept when you borrowed the money from somebody that you couldn't pay back? Was it positive? Was it negative acceptance? And it's, kind of as simple as that. What are you accepting? So, okay, let's go ahead and jump on to question number 3. You're a very popular student in high school. I know a lot of people have problems with this because every time I work through this question with people, they always say, I wasn't a popular student in high school. It's not the point. It's not about how popular you were. You have been friends with a not so popular student since grade school. This is the important part. You were friends with someone that wasn't so popular. You invite your friend into the social circle that you're hanging out with of popular students that you normally hang out with, and he or she becomes a friend to the group. So I think all of us can pretty much go back at any point in our life. Work, school, relatives, whatever. There's always been a point that we can say we brought somebody into our little tight-knit circle. So describe that scenario in your life, and what was the outcome? Did your friend get rejected? Did your friend get accepted? If so, then what could you have done differently? Could you have just flat out said, hey, I love you for who you are. You don't need to be part of this clique and this group of people because you're better than this group of people? Or could you have said, dude, I think you're so awesome. You need to be part of this group of people because these people would really, really like you. And then the next step is, did acceptance play any part in that scenario? What were you accepting? What were they accepting? And then once you figure out what everybody was accepting, was this positive or negative acceptance? These questions are going to get easier as we get through more and more of them. They're going to start to make more and more sense. But I'm going to go ahead and call it a night tonight. It's, I don't know, almost midnight here in Nebraska. I'm pretty exhausted. But thanks a lot, guys, for sticking around. I'll try to post another video here tomorrow, next day, day after, because I'd like to keep up with this. Email me your questions. I'll put the link in the description. And hope to hear back from you guys. Thanks a lot. Good night, guys.